Hi students, welcome to Unacademy YouTube. Welcome back. I hope you all are again doing great and in safe health. All right, let's just wait for other people to join in and then we'll quickly begin. As discussed, the previous class we already had finished till the part of Karl Marx. We were only supposed to complete Emily Durkheim and Max Weber. Um we would be also doing bureaucracy and the major part of the chapter notes. Okay, we will be having a proper question and answer. So if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me. And yeah, let's just wait for another 2 minutes to people to join in. All right, let's begin. I think if anybody joins, we'll take them through. So whatever we have discussed beforehand. Okay, without any delay, we are doing the introduction to the Western sociologist along with the Q&A, because half of the chapter we have just done before this. So if anybody is watching this video first, we have done one more chapter, one more class on Western sociologist today itself at 1 p.m. So go and check that class as well to get the first hand idea of the first part of the chapter, which is very important to know this one. Okay. uh, So, yes, very good afternoon to one and all. Very quickly, let me give you the glimpse of the Plus features. If you are still not aware of the Unacademy Plus subscription pattern, or if you have not enrolled for the features, these are very quickly, I'll give you a brief of it. We have daily practice sections, we have mock series, we have quizzes, and all these things are happening under one roof of Unacademy, where you get to learn from the top educators of our country. Under the platform, we provide you study materials. You can have an exhaustive, exhaustive syllabus coverage. You will get regular doubt clearing sessions. The mentors will make sure you have a weekly schedule. You will have mentorship and guidance. Of course, that sometimes it becomes very difficult and clumsy to understand how to plan schedule. It is not just about class 12, but even class 11 students find it difficult to sort it at Unacademy. So here for your subscription to understand, okay, we are going to give you the best. Hello Sadaf, how are you? Very good afternoon. How are you doing? Hello, good evening, beta. How are you? That's great. Fine, ma'am. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much, beta. So the last 2 days of 2020, how is it going? Okay. All right. So all these things are a major part and parcel of our life where you get, sometimes you don't understand. Not too good. Oh, that's sad. Why? I'm hoping that even if it's not good, I'm hoping the coming one is an amazing one for you and for your family. And may all your dreams come true. So have a great new year and aspirations, fulfill all of them better. So remember, it's never a bad year, it's always a bad time, which apparently is due to luck. Sometimes it's a bad phase, and everything is going to be fine perfectly. So don't worry, okay? So, all right. So, we have subjective test series which are coming soon, which I'm going to tell you about. The latest baby of Unacademy Iconic. There are people who are not pretty comfortable in group studies to give them that privilege where they can have that ownership and they can have a verbal communication and interaction on one-to-one level with the personal mentor, with their guidance, under their guidance, with which will give them a great parent connect. They will have live doubt clearing sessions, they will have study planners, they will have weekly reports, all the benefits of Plus. Remember, if you have not enrolled for them yet, go ahead and do the same. Okay. Upcoming batches, there are few of them which we have already began from the 21st of December, and it is ending by the March 5th. As you can see, some fantastic mentors on board. Girish Agrawal sir, Vishal Mahajan sir, Anita ma'am, Jaydeep Thakkar, Nikita, Nitika Bhandari ma'am, all of them are taking batches and which have already commenced from the 21st. Okay, not just this, there are few more teachers along with them with a different batch timing. Okay, that's again Monday to Friday, where Anita ma'am, Vishal sir, Pranjay sir, Vikas sir, and Vivek Singh sir are part of the special batch which is commenced from the 21st, which goes up till the March 5th. Again, this is for class 11th. We also have some batches for class 12th because, see, the times are very uncertain right now. Tomorrow, the board is going to give a decision when are the dates going to be commenced. So, yeah, we are waiting for tomorrow's decision that what is the date which they are giving. So, hoping for the best for class 12 students. For the class 11 students, and yeah, also for class 12 students, we have some more batches which are basically the doubt solving batches, and this is only kept Hi Kriti, how are you? Very good evening. Welcome to the class, beta. Long time. Okay, so these are the few batches of doubt solving. That's for board examinations, and these are commencing from. This is already commenced on the 21st of December. It's a 2 months batch. Physics, maths, biology, and chemistry. These are being taken by Vikas Dhillon sir, Juhi Mishra ma'am, Suyash Goyal sir, and Vani ma'am. So you can go ahead and check it on your Unacademy Learning app and you will get all the further details. You also have Indrajit sir, Umesh sir, Rahul sir, and Prakshi ma'am for the same batch or doubt clearing for final examination for science. Okay. As you all know, that Unacademy Ascent has been a regular thing, okay, which is going on. Why would you miss a chance to earn a great amount? So you have 5 lakh rupees every month, you can win up to it. So make sure you go ahead, check it out, okay, and win great amount through this. You can use my referral code, that's Urmi Live, for your class 11th plus subscription. You can use it for class Iconic 11th also. You can use it for class 12th as well as for class 12th Iconic. But let me tell you, the subscription plans which I showed you for class 11th, which is right now you guys are doing for class 11 students, plus subscription platform from 1 month to 24 months. These are the uh, tariff which we are offering at Unacademy to you guys. So of course, because the tariffs are going to increase, and of course, who would want to take up a chance of losing on sale, and discounted rates? Go ahead, check it. Get a 10% discount if you use my referral code. Okay, so you can just unlock the same and get a 10%. Similarly for iconic, the plan, if you can see the difference of the amount for class 11th plus and for iconic are a little different. So go ahead, check it, whichever you're comfortable with, and I'm sure you would find the same, whichever is uh, better for you. Not just this, you also have class 12 plans. Again, plus an iconic subscription prices are going to increase. So do not miss the chance. Go ahead and check it out. You have 6 months, 12 months, whichever you want to take basically. Okay, because we have some of the courses for your competitive exams as well. Okay, where you can take up these UPSC classes and other classes. We have different categories. Okay, so go ahead and check that out. Pen It Down is a series which is having subjective test series, which is going to happen from the 9th of Jan, which has accountancy, business study, economics, history, political science, and geography. Uh, you are going to really love it. You will really like it because these are the new things which are coming up for class 11th and 12th. Not just this, we are also having a science pen it down subjective test series for physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics, which is also commencing on the 9th of Jan. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, whichever you find better, grab the same. Learning, all the details are given on your learning app. Now we will exactly start from where we stopped, but before that, my name is Professor Urmi. All the details about my profile is given below. Go ahead, check them down. Special classes absolutely are free. So you have open access to come and join the special classes better. I have covered almost the entire syllabus on plus as well as on the special classes. If you have not joined yet, go ahead, make an Unacademy account, okay, on the learning app and have an access to the same. Go ahead and check them out. Now coming from the place where we stopped it, um, before the class in the morning, we stopped till Karl Marx argument through class struggle. Now, exactly we will start where Karl Marx class struggle ended. Okay, go ahead and check the previous class details again for it. Now, class struggle for Marx was the most important method, which was basically done for classifying people into social groups. Okay, now the social groups was with reference to the production process, which I told you it was not about religion, it was not about language, it was not about nationality or any sort of identity. It was basically about production process. Now the entire production process here, by the virtue of their location in production, of course was about the property relationships. Classes were formed, stratification picture came into senses properly. Okay, there are different historical process behind it. Okay, which you might be not be able to understand or get them through on a quick road, or you cannot recognize them like this, but yes, definitely production technology and the social relations of production have changed. Conflicts have developed between classes, which have definitely resulted into major. Hi Alok, good evening, welcome beta, how are you? Okay, which have definitely resulted into major struggles, major fights, major conflicts. Okay, which has resulted into struggle. That means, for example, what is the example here? The capitalist mode of production, which creates the working class, which is a new urban or property less group created by destruction of the feudal agricultural system. Now, here, when we speak about the agricultural system, good evening, beta, God bless. Okay, here, when we are speaking about the class system, which is created for the destruction of the feudal agriculture system, basically the agrarian system. Okay, you need to understand, even in the previous slide, I discussed that how the peasants were being thrown off their own lands. They were sharing a location, they did not have their own rights here. They were forced, they had the pressure. Lawfully, the police forced them to work in a newly built factory. They were not having their judiciary or their rights in their own sectors. They were working under people. They were working under people. Okay. Now, Marx was, of course, a proponent of class struggle. You already know what was the major opposing classes here, opposing classes which were identified from the contradiction here. Okay, that it was about in capital, it was about the factories, it was about the industries, it was about the machinery, it was also about the land and so on. But on the other hand, the working class lost all the means of production which was being owned. So in the past, if you go, and that is the reason they also proved that capitalist social system, workers had absolutely no choice but to sell their labor for wages in order to survive, because they had nothing else. They absolutely had nothing else better. So you guys need to understand that because they had, they were supposed to survive, because they were supposed to survive and they did not have the wages, they had to sell. Workers had no choice. So what we are seeing here, it's going on. It is not stopping. It is not stopping at all. So as consciousness spreads unevenly among classes, how a class will act in a particular historical situation which cannot be predetermined. Now you tell me, when consciousness is spreading, when people are thinking about stratification, about class, when there are disparities, okay, how will it be better? How will it not create a sense of misunderstanding on this ground? How a class will act in a particular historical situation which cannot be predetermined. And hence, according to Marx, economic processes generally tend to generate class conflicts. So, though this also helps and depends on the political as well as on the social conditions, given favorable conditions, class conflicts culminate in resolutions. It will go on. Even in the 21st century, you will come across so many varieties of class consciousness where there are struggles going on and on and on. And it's just not stopping, guys. It's just not stopping. So, the entire concept of Karl Marx was the study of class struggle, the study of production processes. I'll repeat to you on the slide. Marx was a proponent of class struggle. His entire theory was also having different kind of criticisms, which we have already discussed beforehand. But it was about production, it was about capital, it was about capitalism, it was about industry, it was about machinery, it was also about the lands. But you need to understand that the entire story, or the concept of Karl Marx was about capitalism and was about class struggle, how it went hand in hand. Moving to the next Western sociologist of this chapter is Emily Durkheim. Now, Durkheim may be considered as the founder of sociology as a formal discipline, as he was the first to become a professor of sociology in Paris. Okay, he was born into a very orthodox Jewish family. He was sent to be, he was sent in a rabbinical school, which is basically a cultural school, which you call as a Jewish religious school. Like people have convents. Similarly, they had a Jewish religious school for his early education. But by the time he entered the École Normale, which was in 1876, he broke with his religious orientation and he declared himself as agnostic. He differed, and he said that he was agnostic. Who is agnostic? Agnostic is a person who believes in nothing is known, or existence or the nature of God. Okay, he says that nothing here is known as the existing of probably God. But however, his moral upbringing had an enduring influence on his sociological thinking because they were all social thinkers, no? So, this moral upbringing, whatever he had from the family, from the background, that affected his sociological thinking. So, moral codes were the key characteristics of a society that determined the behavior patterns of individuals. So, what was it? Coming from a religious family, he cherished the idea of developing a secular understanding of religion. Okay, it was in the last book which he had written, that the elementary forms of religious life. Okay, that he was finally able to fulfill his this wish of his. Okay, so very simple. Okay, please remember Karl Marx, production, capitalism, bringing the capital, the sense of understanding why it happened, machines, industry, production, again and again, land. Now, Emily Durkheim, on the other hand, we are starting with his schooling, how he was not having these values. Okay, he was being into a Jewish school, which apparently he wanted to change because he himself declared that I am agnostic. He did not have any religious counterparts because agnostic is someone who feels that uh, a person who has to do skeptic about religion, basically. Okay, a person who believes that nothing is known or can be known to the existence or with the nature or of the god nature of the god. That's the basic meaning of agnostic. But his moral upbringing resulted in such a way that he was in Hindi we call मजबूर किया सोचने पे कि उसके संस्कार ऐसे थे. So because he was being he was being executed in that form and his moral upbringing was such, that is the reason he thought that this could be an enduring influence to his sociological thinking. Okay, any questions or doubts still here, guys? Any questions or doubts still here, guys? Alok, Sadaf, Kriti. No doubts? Okay, lovely. Take it. Thank you. Now, here we start about thinking that because Emily was trying to, able to fulfill this wish of moving ahead, see, of moving ahead, in which way? That the elementary forms of religious life that he was finally able to fulfill was basically the society was for Durkheim a social fact which was nothing but is existed as a moral community, which existed as a moral community over and above the individual. Okay, so this was one of the important facts. Hi, Sneha. Hello, good evening. Welcome, Beta. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Beta. Last 2 days of 2020, going well, going busy, going hectic, but all good. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, for Durkheim, very important thing that sociology. Okay. For him, very important thing was that it was to be found in codes of conduct. Okay, it was very evident that the practices of everyday life, okay, which he wanted to speak here or we wanted to bring about, he sought to develop, which was based on the recognition of moral facts. Okay, very easy things, guys. First thing, Karl Marx, very simple, was about capitalism, was about the different kind of revelations, which was about the anecdotes of step one, step two, step three, with production, factory, machinery, land. It included all of it, which was being even criticized and humiliated with by many. Whereas Emily Durkheim was straight about the social fact and social norms and social forms. So what was he saying? That society was for Durkheim a social fact which existed as a moral community over and above the individuals. Okay, so here the ties that bound people in groups were crucial to the existence of society. These ties or social solidarities exerted pressure on individuals to confirm the norms and expectations of the group. Very important. Okay, so for Durkheim, social was to be found in the codes of conduct which was imposed on individuals by the collective agreement. In society, collective agreement means a very important thing. So there were moral facts and phenomena. What were they? Rules of action, which was being probably recognized by certain distinctive characteristics. It must be possible to observe them, okay, describe them, classify them, look for certain laws explaining what is it. Moral codes, which were about the manifestations of particular social conditions. And hence, the morality here was appropriate for one society, which was inappropriate for the very other. So, for Durkheim, the prevailing social conditions could be deducted from the moral codes. So, this made sociology a very, what do you call, akin, okay, to the natural sciences. And you know, it's a discipline, it goes hand in hand, it's interwoven, everything. But it was in keeping with the larger objective of establishing sociology as a rigorous scientific discipline. Now, whatever disciplines you had discussed about the previous time, here you understand that Emily Durkheim was basically trying to make the objective of sociology as a rigorous scientific discipline, guys. Now you know what is the difference which we are talking about here. Here it is about the scientific discipline. Now, what was Durkheim's vision of sociology? Simple. It was a scientific discipline which was being characterized by defining features. What are the features? Studying of social fact, and the other was studying about the different kind of social sciences, other sciences. Okay, sociology concerned itself exclusively with what he called the emergent levels. Okay, that is the level of complex collective life. I told you collective life plays a very important role in sociology and the statistics of society, which of course had a lot of ups and downs and wins and fancies in a part of it. Okay, next, if you know the level of complex collective life, which was an example that social institutions like religion or family or social values like friendship, patriotism, etc., were a major part. Okay, now these were only possible in a complex whole that was larger than and different from the constituent parts. Okay, It is the emergent level where sociological or sociology basically studies. Any questions or doubts still here, guys? Please feel free to comment. I'll just check the phone if any one of you have commented. Sneha, I'm good, beta. I'm good. Hi, Amit. How are you? Good evening. Welcome, beta. Okay. So, without any stopping now, sociology, as I told you again, with Durkheim's philosophy, it was about the emergence of that discipline which he wanted, particularly not with the different kind of other mismatch, but here he simply wanted the emergence of the sociology as a subject, as a plain and simple scientific discipline, as simple as that. And his concept was about the division of labor in society, in which his first book, okay, Division of Labor in Society, Durkheim demonstrated the methods basically of analysis to explain the evolution of society from a primitive to the modern field. He classified a society by the nature of social solidarity which existed in that society. He argued that while a primitive society was being organized, okay, he also argued that it was about the mechanical solidarity. Modern society was based on organic solidarity. Okay, it was about self-sufficient groups. It was that solidarity was tying between people based on similarity and personal relationship. He also said that societies were not very tolerant on the differences or the violation which was keep on happening attracts very harsh punishment which we never saw or which we never read. He definitely raised his voice, which was in regards to the harsh punishments, or which constructed and included the part and parcel of law. But this was because the individual and community were so tightly integrated that it was a fear that any violation of codes or conduct could result in the disintegration of the community, guys. It was very important for you to understand that Durkheim's philosophy about division of labor was an important part, which spoke, which attracted and shared things about, okay, that, okay, it was about based on the society that represented, okay, or which had different repressive laws to prevent the deviations which we are talking about. Okay, please understand this is very, very, very important. Clear? Any questions still here, guys? Any questions which you would like to ask here? So, division of labor, very easily they have explained, okay, the disintegration of the community, the laws which were basically a major part. If the norms of the community were being violated, then it will definitely involve and have a lot of harsh punishments. Now, please remember, the division of labor in society does provide a good preview of Durkheim enduring the concerns. So what is it? It is about the effort, okay, to create a new scientific discipline with a distinct subject which can be empirically validated, which can be validated. Okay, it clearly manifested in the way it discusses different types of social solidarity as facts. Okay, what do you mean by division of labor? It was distribution, equal distribution, guys. Again, this also reached to the same place where sociology was the new science of society. So Durkheim was again and again focusing that sociology will definitely be a scientific stream and discipline of sociology. As simple as that. It was laid by the foundation that sociology was the new science of society. Durkheim's policy, Durkheim's facts. Any questions or doubts still here, guys? Sorry. Next is Max Weber. Max Weber basically is the last one, and the interpretive sociology about the concept about Weber here was that he argued that the overall objective of social sciences was to develop the interpretive understanding of social actions. Now, what was he basically trying to say here? That these sciences were very different from the natural sciences. Okay, he was trying to say that this was aiming to the different objectives of nature. Clear? Any questions still here? Okay. Any questions still here? Again and again, I'm asking if you have any questions, please feel free, because this is probably the part three, or which is the last part of our chapter Western Sociologist. Okay. So Max Weber and interpretive sociology, he was basically arguing about that overall objective of social sciences was to develop the interpretive understanding, okay, of the social actions which are taken. Now please remember, for Weber, social action included all the human behavior which was meaningful. What was action to which actors attached a meaning. In studying social action, the sociologist's task was basically to recover the meanings or attributes by the actor. To accomplish this task, the sociologist had to put themselves in the actor's place and imagine what these meanings were or could have been. That was one point. Sociology was about a systematic form of empathetic understanding, which is understanding which is based not on the feeling or for sympathy, but for the feeling with empathy. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is basically when you're just trying to sympathize. Oh, he's feeling bad. Oh, I'm feeling bad for you. Empathy is when you mean every single thing which is going on, where you're relating to that person, where you are consoling that person, where you can feel what he's going through. Hence, you must never sympathize with a person, but always try to empathize with him or her, whichever person. That's a human gravity. Now, last part here was bureaucracy. What is bureaucracy? It is simply a mode of organization which is basically premised on the separation of public from the domestic world. Please remember, these terms are going to come even in the final exams. They might just ask you to write a definition on bureaucracy. This meant that the behavior in the public domain was regulated by explicit rules and regulation, the norms and values, which we have seen in sociology on a large scale. Okay, again, moreover, as a public institution, bureaucracy restricted the power of the officials. Okay, the powerfulness of the officials in regards to their responsibilities, and they did not provide any absolute power to them. As simple as that, they definitely did not provide any power. So, bureaucracy, again, I repeat, was a mode of organization which was premised on separation of the public from the domestic world. Question and answers may they can give you bureaucracy. What do you mean by bureaucracy? Define bureaucracy, etc. etc. Now, what was the bureaucratic authority? Please remember, it was about the functioning of the official. It was about the hierarchical ordering. Few people are rich, few people are not, few people are poor, few people are middle class. The positions are very important here. Reliance on written document, the legal formalities, laws, the gravity of understanding what is the importance, office management, what is the conduct in office. These are basically the features which were characterized under the bureaucratic authority. Functioning of officials, because within the bureaucracy officials, which are fixed areas of official jurisdiction, which were governed by the rules, laws, administrative regulations. So please remember, when you're discussing what bureaucracy is, please forget what all is written here. Just listen to me carefully. Bureaucracy is an independent or incubated way of understanding the commands which are being issued by the authorities, which are higher authority, which they themselves are implementing. Okay, which allows you and scope of appealing to a higher official in case of not satisfied or being, you know, probably having a dissatisfaction about something. Okay, where the decisions are from the lower officials. This is very well a concept about bureaucracy. Okay, this is about bureaucracy where you're trying to have a dissatisfaction with the decisions of lower officials. Please understand, these are the only concepts of bureaucracy. understood of the hierarchical ordering. Okay. Now, when I give you the crux of what bureaucracy was, of course, it very well allowed the scope of appeal because it was about the stratification system. Hierarchy nahi hoga, to how will it be a bureaucratic authority? The word authority itself understands, and you can very well, it is understood that it is about a conduct which is happening. There is a scale, there is a way, there is a process with this. Now, the reliance on written document also meant that the management of the bureaucratic organization is basically carried out by the written documents. The files are important. There must be some written documents which are important, and that is the reason the management has, reliance as in what? Building a trust, something which is impairment, which is there, which is probably building a rapport. So these are the forms or the written documents which are basically the files, okay, which are preserved as records of understanding for understanding. And there is accumulation in the decision making of the bureau or of the office, okay. Now, it is also a part of the public domain, which is a separate, okay, thing from the private life of the officials. Guys, please understand, it was about office management. Office management is specialized in modern activity, which of course requires a lot, okay. It requires and demands a full-time attention because you have to see every single thing which is happening, functioning, irrespective of his or her delimited hours in office. Hence, an official conduct in office is also governed, okay. And all these factors are coming under the bureaucracy or the bureaucratic authority which we are discussing right now, okay. Again, remember, these rules and regulations have legal recognition. Officials can be held accountable if anything goes on. They have complete authority to catch hold of people who have legal recognitions, who have various rules and regulations, who do not abide the same. People can catch hold of them for code of conducts. So basically, Weber's characterization of bureaucracy as a modern form of political authority demonstrated that how, as an individual actor, was both recognized for his or her skills and training and given responsibilities with the requisite authority to implement them. Okay, the legal delimitation of task or the authority which constrained unbridled power and made the officials accountable to their clients as the work was carried out in the public domain. So please understand, Weber's ideology for the same was nothing but bringing out the characterization of bureaucracy in this different way, in which he basically imbibed and unbridled the power which was made by the officials. And yes, of course, they were held accountable if there was any sort of goof ups. Again, to make sure that you have understood, let me take you back. You have already understood what Karl Marx was doing. He basically was a proponent of class struggle, where his entire concept was about the economy and capitalism. So capitalism basically meant that every old production was being owned. Okay, for example, the investable capital, existing factory, machinery, land, also for the matter of the fact. But on the other hand, the working class lost the means of production, whatever they had owned. So that was another part. Okay, capitalist socialist system, workers had no choice but to sell their labor for wages in order to survive. Next was that the conscious spread was unevenly among the classes. Okay, which we read to about the Durkheim's vision and view about having sociology as a religious, scientific subject or discipline. So, what was his main ideology here? That he wanted to establish sociology as one rigorous scientific discipline. Next one was from Durkheim's vision of sociology, which we saw, it led to the division of labor, which was about the primitive society, and it led to the organized according to mechanical solidarity. It was about modern society, which was based on organic solidarity, etc., etc., etc. Please understand this was because the individual and the community were so tightly integrated that it was feared that any violation of the codes of conduct here will result in the disintegration of the community, guys. Okay. Next was the division of labor, which resulted into Max Weber here, which was the third Western sociologist who was a sociological thinker, where his ideology was about the objective of social sciences, which were being leading into interpretive understanding of social actions. This was to accomplish the task of sociologist, which he himself had put into an actor's place, and this was basically leading to bureaucracy. Okay, so all of these are basically connected with each other, as you have seen. I have clearly explained you what was bureaucracy. It definitely had some authority. It definitely was about, the premise separation from the public and the domestic world. It was about power. It was about authority. And if anything went wrong here with the officials, they were being responsible and accountable for the same. They had bureaucratic authority, which had some key characteristics and features, which are given on the screen, which is also given in the book in in a lengthy process, in a lengthy way. Mark the important ones. Make sure that you know that it was because of the hierarchical ordering of positions. It was about the authority of the office, which placed on a graded hierarchy, where the higher officials supervised the lower ones, which allowed the scope of appeal to a higher official in case of dissatisfaction, in case of decisions which were taken by the lower officials when you were not satisfied about certain things, etc. About the written format of the reliance of written documentation. It was about the conduct in the office. It was about managing the office management. So these separate his or her public conduct from the behavior what the person's social action had in the public domain. And these rules and regulations have legal recognition. Again, officials can be held accountable for these things. Please listen to these carefully. I'm hoping that it is clear. I'm hoping that there is no issue till here. And with this, we have end to Weber's characterization of bureaucracy in the modern form of political authority, which is demonstrated in such way. And we reach to the last slide, which is thank you. So if you have any questions, please feel free. Also, tomorrow, class 11 students, tomorrow we have a psychology class. Make sure that you attend. If there is any chapter which you want me to again ask you or again take you through, please let me know. Put it on the comment section and I will take it again. So, all right, all of you, take care of yourself. Have a great life ahead. God bless you. Keep studying, keep rocking. I'm going to see you for tomorrow's class. My regards to your family. Be safe, be healthy, and God bless.